Hi everyone, it's been a while. I cannot believe this is the first video of the year and it's January 23rd. Definitely later when you're watching this. So I have just been trying to take things easy and not put too much pressure on myself, and that's kind of what I want to talk about today. The main thing that I want to talk about is you don't have to be productive all the time. And it's okay if you're not productive for a while. It's completely okay to take time for yourself. So, where do I start? I used to be constantly productive. I came home from school and I worked on my books. I wrote a ton. I planned my videos. I filmed my videos. I edited my videos. I did a ton of other then I had to do homework and watch TV shows a lot as well, which isn't exactly productive, but I just did so many things even though I had so little time. And then I actually suddenly had so much time, and since then everything has kind of fallen apart. And I'm definitely going to be making videos on how to organize your time and how to do things and function when you have a lot of time, because obviously it's a blessing, but at the same time it's, I feel like, really hard to figure it out, and I haven't really figured it out myself, and so I need to kind of figure it out a little bit before I can actually talk about it and give advice on it and stuff. It's been really hard for me to be productive because I have just been depleted of energy all the time. I have just been trying to take things slowly and not force myself into productivity. And I think there's one important distinction that we need to make, and that is push ourselves to do something and force ourselves to do something. So, you know, when we want to write a book, for example, we can't just be on social media every day and watch things every day and never be productive and just, you know? So we need to sometimes push ourselves into working on something. But there are times when it's not a push we need, but we think we need to force ourselves. But in that case, we shouldn't actually force ourselves. We should take some time off to regain energy, and then we can push ourselves to work on it. But if it just doesn't feel right, if we feel completely exhausted at just the thought of working on something, if we don't have to work on it, we shouldn't force ourselves. I think there's a big issue with constant productivity, because we all feel like we need to be constantly productive, or if we're not, our life is useless and we are useless. That's kind of the mindset, and that is really fucked up and really bad, and it shouldn't be that way. Because there is nothing wrong with taking time off, and we honestly should all take some time off. I mean, yeah, of course, there are times when we're lazy and we have to do something because it means something to us and we want to work towards our goals, but I think we're just all so exhausted. And you know how they say that we're the burnout generation and shit like that? I think that's because there's so much pressure that we have to be constantly working on something, and so we feel like we can never take a break, and then we just keep on working and working and working and working, and then of course we're gonna burn out because it doesn't work that way. We cannot be constantly productive without taking time off and relaxing and just doing useless things that aren't productive, because those useless things aren't actually useless. And if we find things that aren't productive but are fun for us and bring some meaning to us, then it's not a waste of time. I think making the most of our life doesn't mean being constantly productive. I think the main meaning, the general one, should be to enjoy life. And does that really mean constant productivity? Yes, the things that I want to be productive on are making videos, writing books. Those are kind of the main ones. And I love both. Both is my passion, but it's still work. it's still exhausting, and it's not actually my job yet, but it is still really hard, and it is still really draining. It takes a lot of brain power to do it, and I still can't, even though it's my passion, even if you are passionate about something, you might need breaks from it sometimes too. And that doesn't mean that we aren't passionate enough. That doesn't mean there's anything wrong with us. We all just need to take breaks. We understand that our bodies need sleep, right? It might be super frustrating sometimes. You're like, I don't want to waste all this time sleeping because I have a life to live, and it's super annoying, but we just have to accept it, because if we don't sleep, we die. We need to accept that it's the same with our mind and our just like emotional well-being. We need like emotional sleep and mental sleep as well, meaning we need to sometimes do things that don't require us to think much. So yeah, it can be like seeing a movie or watching a TV show or reading a book, hanging out with a friend. We need to find things that can do that for us, that can help us regain energy, that are actually fun for us. Anything works. You can binge watch videos on YouTube, you can look at art on Instagram, you can go swimming, go for a run, you can draw, you can paint, you can dance, you can sing, you can just do anything you could possibly want, and just do it for fun, not because you have to, not because it will like get you closer to anything, just because you enjoy it. I think we focus on the future a little too much sometimes, and we don't focus on actually enjoying the present. Because yes, obviously we're gonna have some long-term goals. I'm not saying we shouldn't, obviously. Absolutely, because it's gonna be fulfilling in the long term. It's something we want, yes. And sometimes those long-term goals require us to be uncomfortable and do things that are difficult and not exactly the most fun in the moment. So like writing a book is worth it in the end, but sometimes there are really, really annoying, you know, parts in the process. That's just how it works. But we also need to actually enjoy the moment that we're in sometimes and do things that maybe don't really add to like a long-term goal, but they are fun in the moment. We get like some joy or pleasure from them, and that makes it worth it. So in all this time that I've been absolutely exhausted, I have been reading so much, and I don't regret a single second of it. Basically, what I'm trying to say is go easy on yourself and don't put too much pressure on yourself. I have been really overwhelmed, and I knew that adding any extra things on top of it wouldn't help me. But now that I'm feeling a little bit better and I feel like I have more energy, I try to push myself a bit more into, you know, filming something or writing a little bit or something like that. But I still try not to go too much over my limit. And so just pay attention to how you feel and treat yourself with kindness, and remember that like your worth, your value, how good you are doesn't depend on how productive you can be. And I know that from every direction we hear the opposite, that we need to work so freaking hard, but that is just really bad and harmful, and we all need to chill out and take a deep breath and just slow down a little bit, which is another one of my biggest issues, and that is that I've kind of always been in a rush, and I put so much pressure on myself, and I always told myself to do so many things, and I tried to do everything quickly, and that makes everything more stressful and more overwhelming. And so just if you're feeling overwhelmed and exhausted, just take a deep breath, take a break, and just, you know, take an evening or a day for yourself, or a weekend if you can, to just like chill and not do much and just think and see how you feel, and do anything that feels good in the moment that you think will help you feel better. And only once you're ready to actually do more productive, more exhausting things, then do those things. I haven't been uploading any videos. Last year, I completely failed at uploading regularly. I feel like I uploaded maybe like 8 videos in the whole year, and it did make me feel kind of like shit, and it was not the best, but I just knew that it wasn't the right thing for me to do in the moment, if that makes sense, and I just didn't have enough energy for it, and that is frustrating, and I really want to get back to it, but I'm just trying to be kind to myself instead of being like, you know, you're so fucking stupid, why have you not been filming? I just try to be like, it's okay, it sucks, but I just need to be patient with myself and take a break and wait and try to just relax and see how everything goes. We don't always have to be productive, and we don't always have to do the best job at everything. Like, mental health gets in the way, other things get in the way. It can get too much sometimes, and you not working on something for a little while doesn't mean you cannot achieve your goals that are related to it. So last year, I barely made videos and I didn't really write anything, which sucks, but that doesn't mean I can't be successful in either of the two. That just means it wasn't the right time to do these things, and I needed to focus on other things in my life, and I just needed a break from it. And I know that now, after that break, my writing, everything I create, will be much better because there's a lot that I learned, a lot that inspired me, and sometimes things just aren't right in the moment, and even if that's not the case, sometimes we just can't do something, and it is frustrating, but it's okay. It's not your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You can still achieve your goals. You just need to take a break for a little bit. You know, I always, in my poems, I always use the metaphor of, you know, like a journey towards a certain destination. So, you know, like writing a book or something like that. And sometimes we just walk on the path, and there are times that we will go in a different direction, and there are times when we have to stop, but if we stop, we're not going backwards. If we stop, there might be a lot that we still learn, and we might just be headed in a slightly different direction, but that doesn't mean we cannot get to our destination. It just means there's a slight diversion that might help us find some other unexpected, amazing places, and we just need to go with it and try to enjoy life and take it easy. I hope this was kind of helpful. I did not plan any of this because I don't have my shit together yet, and that's okay, because maybe this will make someone feel a little better, and it doesn't have to be perfect to do that, and everything is gonna be okay, things will get better, you will have more energy, you will have more time, or anything that's standing in your way, you will get past it, and everything's gonna work out. That's gonna be it. I will be back hopefully soon with another video, so you can subscribe if you want to stay tuned for that, and yeah. Have a great day, and I'm gonna see you soon. Bye!